Dear students, in this video, I am going to explain about some of the chemical properties of the alkalis. So first let us see what happens when the alkali reacts with the oxygen. When the alkali reacts with the oxygen, it will give the basic oxide like lithium oxide, sodium oxide, potassium oxide, rubidium oxide and cesium oxide. Apart from that, we know oxygen is having other oxidation numbers also, that is -1 and -half. If the oxygen is in -1 oxidation state, then we call that as a peroxide. If it is in the -half oxidation state, then it is called as the superoxide. So the sodium and other metals can give, except lithium, they can also give the peroxide. Sodium reacts with oxygen which is having the oxidation number -1, it can give sodium peroxide. And the other metals such as the potassium, rubidium, cesium, they can also give the peroxide. Along with the peroxide, they can also give the superoxide, which is of the formula MO2. If you see the formula, the simple oxide have the formula M2O, the peroxide have the formula M2O2, and the superoxide have the formula MO2. Here the M means the alkali metals. Next, when the alkali metal reacts with the hydrogen, it will give its hydrides. And these hydrides are the reducing agents. These reducing nature increases down the group. That is, when you compare the lithium hydride and the cesium hydride, the cesium hydride is having more reducing nature than the lithium hydride. So this is because the ionic character increases, so the stability will be decreases. When the alkali reacts with the halogen, what will happen? They will form the alkali halide. Best example, a sodium reacts with the chlorine, gives sodium chloride. But when you see these halides, all the alkali halides are ionic crystals except the lithium iodide. This lithium iodide is a covalent nature. Why this is covalent? Because of the very small size of the lithium ion, so it can exert the high polarizing power on the iodide, which is a very big anion. And following this, what happens when the alkali reacts with the ammonia, liquid ammonia? When any alkali, it can be a sodium, potassium, rubidium or cesium or lithium, anything, when they react with the liquid ammonia, they will give a deep blue solution. So why they give the deep blue solution? See, when the alkali metal reacts with the ammonia, here when you see the reaction, you can see X plus Y ammonia. Why the X plus Y ammonia is given? So the metal, the alkali metal, when it reacts with the ammonia, first of all it will give out the electron. So the electron as well as the alkali metal, they will react with the ammonia, they will form the complex. So we will get that MNH3 X times and electron NH3 Y times. So this blue color is due to the electron which is ammoniated. That is, the ammoniated electron is blue in color. That is because it will absorb the energy in the visible region of the light, and so they will give the blue color, and this is paramagnetic in nature. If you leave it for some time, automatically, slowly they will start to liberate the hydrogen and they will form the amide. So when you take the concentrated solution, the blue color changes to the bronze color, showing from paramagnetic nature it is becoming the diamagnetic nature. So when it is paramagnetic nature, it is blue in color. When it is in diamagnetic nature, it is in bronze in color. And next let us see the reaction with water. So when the alkali, when they react with water, they will be giving the alkali hydroxide. So these are all basic in nature. Even when they react with the alcohol and alkynes or with the hydrogen, they are capable of liberating the hydrogen. So the main thing is the alkali metals, when they react with the water, they will give the hydroxide along with the liberation of the hydrogen. Even with the some of the organic compound, they are readily gives the hydrogen. This reaction, the sodium with the ethyl alcohol, you will be learning next year in the organic chemistry in the 11th lesson. So next, this alkali metals themselves, they are ready to leave one electron and to attain the octet. So they are all a very good reducing agents. And the reaction with carbon, when we see the lithium, it can directly react with the carbon to form the lithium carbide. But other elements, other metals of the alkalis, they will not react directly. Instead of that, they'll react with the acetylene to form the acetylides. And following this, let us see the uses. So the lithium metal is used to make the useful alloys. For example, when it reacts with the lead, it can form alloy white metal, which is used as the bearing, that is the ball bearing for the motor engines. With the aluminium, the lithium combination is used to make the aircraft parts. With magnesium, it is used to make the armor plates, and it is also used in the thermonuclear reactions. So the lithium is also used to make the electrochemical cells, that is with the chemical energy converted into the electrical energy. So in such cases we use the lithium. So the detailed study of this lithium cells will be learning next year in the electrochemistry. Then the sodium, it can combine with the lead to form the alloy, which is commonly noted as the tetraethyl lead and tetramethyl lead, and these are used as the anti-knocks in the petrol. So they'll stop that knocking. But nowadays the lead-free petrol is also in use. So liquid sodium metal is used as a coolant in the fast breeder nuclear reactor. Already we have seen in the 4th lesson that heavy water is used as a coolant in the nuclear reactors. So along with that, the liquid sodium metal is also used as a coolant in the fast breeder nuclear reactors. That is, so much of heat energy will be liberated. So to cool the nuclear reactors, we are using this. Then potassium, when we say fertilizers, 3 important metals elements are used in the fertilizers. Those are NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. N nitrogen, P phosphorus and K potassium. So the potassium plays an important role as a fertilizer. So the potassium chloride is used as a fertilizer, and we know for soap making we will be using the sodium hydroxide. Instead of sodium hydroxide, if we use the potassium hydroxide, then such soaps are called as the soft soaps. So they are the excellent absorbent of the carbon dioxide, this potassium hydroxide. Then cesium, it is used as devising the photoelectric cells. Now let us see some general characteristics of the alkali compound. When you take the oxides and the hydroxides, these hydroxides are basic in nature. They are all as strong bases. So they will form the oxides are of a formula M2O. So when these oxides, when they combine with the water, they will form the hydroxides. Apart from the oxides, they can also produce the peroxides and superoxides. Once again, I am repeating, these reactions are already taught to you, but I am repeating again. The lithium will give only oxide. The sodium is capable of giving oxide as well as peroxide. The remaining element potassium, rubidium, cesium, they can give oxides, peroxides as well as the superoxides. So following the oxides and hydroxides, let us see the properties of these oxides and the hydroxides. When you take this oxides and peroxides, they are colorless when they are pure. But when you take the superoxide, they are yellow or orange in color. The peroxides are diamagnetic in nature, while the superoxides are paramagnetic in nature. Mostly we'll use the sodium peroxide as an oxidizing agent, since it can give out the oxygen very quickly. So it will decompose to give the oxygen. Then the hydroxide, which are obtained by the reaction of the oxides with water, they will form a white crystalline solids. So they will form the solids. If you take the sodium hydroxide, it is a solid crystal. If you take the potassium hydroxide, it is a solid crystals. So these alkali metal hydroxides are strong bases. So they are all exothermic reaction when they are dissolved in the water. When they dissolved in the water, and if you touch and see that, you can feel the heat. So that it is giving out the heat. So evolution of heat, it is an exothermic reaction. When we go for the halides, they can produce a colorless crystalline solids with high melting point. Just bring the sodium chloride in your mind when I say this. So they can be prepared by the reaction of the oxides or hydroxides or carbonate of the particular alkali metal. For example, if you want to prepare the sodium chloride, you can take either sodium oxide or sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. When it is treated with the acid, here let me go for the hydrochloric acid. So they'll form the sodium chloride salt and the water or the respective byproducts. So as the electropositive character of the alkali metal increases from the lithium to cesium, so the metals form halides increases from the lithium to cesium. So all the halides are ionic except the lithium bromide and lithium iodide. And same time, if you take the lithium fluoride, it is insoluble in water, or I can say its solubility is very low in water. Why? That is because of the size of the lithium as well as the size of the fluorine. Both are very small in size, so they will be having a high lattice enthalpy. So due to the presence of the covalent nature, both lithium bromide and lithium iodide are soluble in the organic solvents also. And now let us see about the salt of oxo acids. What is the difference between the mineral acid and the oxo acid? If you take hydrochloric acid, it contains hydrogen and chlorine. So it is called as a mineral acid. Same time, if you take sulfuric acid, its formula is H2SO4. It contains hydrogen to prove it is an acid, and it has sulfur to show it is an acid of sulfur. Along with that, it has the oxygen, so that it is called as the oxy acids or oxo acids. So the alkali metals, they form salts with the oxy acids. Example, with sulfuric acid they will form sulfate. With nitric acid they form nitrate. With carbonic acid they form carbonate. With phosphoric acid they form phosphate, etc. So most of the salts are soluble in water and they are thermally stable. This is because the electropositive character increases down the group, so that the stability of the carbonate and the bicarbonate will be increases. So this is due to the decrease in the polarizing power of the alkali metal cation. If you take the alkali metals, the carbonates of the alkali metals, they are stable up to 1273 Kelvin except lithium. Lithium is less stable and it will be decomposed very easily to give the lithium oxide and the carbon dioxide. This is because of the size difference between the lithium and the carbonate. Lithium is very small and carbonate is very big, so that the crystal lattice is unstable. So being strongly basic, the alkali metal except lithium, they form a solid bicarbonates. So no other metal forms a solid bicarbonate. If you take the alkaline earth metals, they cannot form the solid bicarbonates. Only the alkali metals, they form the solid bicarbonate. That too except the lithium. That is, you have seen the baking soda. Baking soda is nothing but the sodium bicarbonate. So it is solid in nature. So all the carbonates and the bicarbonates are soluble in water, and the solubility increases rapidly on descending the group. So this is because the lattice energy decreases more rapidly than their hydration energy when you move down the group. So that children, now I have given you some of the chemical properties and the reason for that, and thank you very much.